Zara Larsson, how are you?
I'm good. Good to be here.
I am so excited to see you. I remember the first time I saw you, I was in Dallas.
Oh, wow.
And you were performing. And I was like, man, she's just so good. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here. Finally, get to talk about my new song.
Mm-hmm.
Just, on a press day, just talking about myself all day. Pretty good.
Do you enjoy that?
I do.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? I feel like you said that like it was like a guilty thing. No, I feel like
I'm like, hey, what else do you want to know about me?
Yeah, I feel like you literally have to sell yourself in this business.
No, you
don't
do.
You think?
No, you do. You have to be like your biggest supporter, and your like biggest promoter. That's what it is, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And I think I've realized that actually the older I get, because I used to be a little. Not embarrassed or ashamed, but like, when I was releasing a song at like 15, I would just post like one picture on Instagram, like, hey, my song's out. And then I was just like, that's it. But now I realized that for what? Maybe I did it because I was a little scared if it didn't go that well that I wanted it to. Then if I didn't really, put myself out there, it was like, oh, fine, like, oh, whatever. But now I am not ashamed to say that I wanted to do so well, and I believe in myself, and I believe in my song, and I'm really excited, and I think everything's amazing.
Before, do you think it was because you kind of cared what people thought?
Totally. I still do, to some extent. I think that's why I'm an artist. I want to like people to have a good time. I want to entertain people. I want people to love me. But I think also as a teenager, you care like a lot more. I feel like something clicked in me when I turned 25. How old are you?
35.
35, yeah. Do you feel like the older you get, the more like...
I feel like the older I get, I don't care.
Like
I don't care what some like teenager on the internet has to say.
You care about what your peers have to say, or
not
like
even that.
I love that for you.
Look, here's my thing: you get what you get.
Yeah.
And I am not going to change like who I am or what I do because you don't like it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not accepting any more applications for friends. So once you're in, you're in.
You're in.
You feel me?
Yeah, I love that. No,
So-
but that's
So
the
you
vibe.
said 25. That's when it changed.
I think so. And they also said that that's the time where like the prefrontal cortex or whatever is like fully developed. So you can like
Differentiate things.
Yeah,
Like things
a
that you
little
would
bit
do
more
at 18,
mature.
you wouldn't do at 25.
Exactly.
So that's when it clicked.
I think so. Or something just happened. I don't know if it's I'm not a planet girl. Like I don't really believe in like the stars and that, but maybe there is a planet circulating around some sort of star that makes me feel so excited and like confident this year. I wish it's gonna stay for the rest of my life.
We're gonna bleep this, but you know what? Probably you just don't give a no more. And I feel like I needed to say it just so you can like, you know what I'm saying? Like at 25, you are grown. You are doing what you were doing. You're doing what you love.
And I have been doing it for such a long time that I'm like, it's obviously working somehow, But we have a long way to go,
right?
And that's exciting, It's the journey, but yeah, you got to remind yourself too, like, hello, I'm waking up every day and like I get to do what I love.
And
And I really enjoy it.
Absolutely. And I feel like no one's opinion is going to come in between you and what you do, what you love. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And you all you need in life is, grit always outweighs talent. And if you have both, then lucky you.
You said grit always outweighs talent. How so?
I think so. Consistency.
Right.
And like never giving up. Because if you look at if you want to have like a longevity, you want to have a career and you want to like do what you love, I think it's just like a mental, not a game, but like a mindset that you have to have with yourself that is like, there's no option in just quitting, Because I have certain songs, like when I released Love Me Land, which I thought was like the best song of the century, and then it didn't do as well at all as I thought it would. I was like, well, okay, let's try again. You're always just one song away from a number one. Really?
Does that mess with you, though? Like, if you, in your head, you're thinking that this song is going to be amazing, right? And all of a sudden, it doesn't turn out the way how you want it to turn out. Even though, deep down inside, you know that this song's amazing.
The song
Everybody's
is
late
amazing.
to the party.
Totally.
Does it mess with your head?
It does. You know what it is? And I'm saying this, like, genuinely. If you release stuff that you are proud of and that you love, you can't lose like that. If I would release stuff that I didn't really feel 100% of because the label told me that this is going to be a smash and this is going to be a hit, and then it turns out it isn't, that's when you lose.
Zara, can I just say that whenever someone describes a song as a smash, a little piece of me dies inside? Because I feel like sometimes people will hype up a song and be like, this song's a smash. And then you hear it, it's like, there's that little piece of me dying inside.
What is a smash to you then? What's like a smash song? You just don't want to hear the word.
I just hate the word when people are like, just like how I hate the MOIST word. I hate that word for when people are describing cakes and stuff like that. Yeah. But I hate smash when people are describing songs. So it's not like, I think songs are smashes, but I think sometimes,
you don't want to say it.
Right, and I think sometimes it's overused to describe a song.
It's true.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, that's funny. But that's when you really lose. And I think if you do stuff that you're genuinely proud of, but yeah, of course, I'm like, hello, wake up. Like, how come you didn't like this? Like, what? But then it's also so hard because there's so many talented people out there, you know, that are just, they are grinding and they're releasing stuff and they're doing it and they're doing it and they're doing it. I think sometimes, here we go with the stars again, they just got to align.
100%.
You know, it's like right timing, you meet the right person, you release the right song for this right moment because in the world this is happening and people, you know, so just got to keep going. And at least, you know, do it for as long as I love it. Yeah.
You know what it's like? It's like capturing magic in a bottle. You don't know how to do it, but once it's captured, like, there it is.
There it is.
I was wondering, I was about to ask you something about the stars aligning. With songs nowadays, like, even though like it may not have blown up as soon as you put it out, I feel like with things are coming back on like social media and whatnot, like songs are having new lifespans and whatnot. So it's not necessarily like it may not have blown up when you thought it was.
I just saw like Justine Skye like have a, you know, a song, especially TikTok, that is helping songs that are, or even Lady Gaga's Bloody Mary, exactly. So it definitely has like revived a lot of songs that maybe didn't get the proper attention that it deserved back in the days. But I feel like even when I released like Lush Life in Europe, it didn't take off until like a year and a half, 2 years after I released it. Didn't the same thing happen with Lizzo?
Yes, Truth Hurts
you know?
was 2 years old.
Yeah, it was 2 years old. And then all of a sudden people were like, wow, this is pretty good. And, you know, Never Forget You, it took some time, my song. So sometimes you just never know. They have their life, their own little life of their own.
Would you say that you're a patient person?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm a person who never stops, but patient in what sense?
Like just patience, knowing that. And the only reason I ask is because you seem to have the understanding of like, you know, this song may not take off when it's supposed to take off, but everything will happen in due time when the stars align.
Yeah, more think like, okay, cool, it didn't take off, let's move on. And then maybe it does take off in a couple of years, but then that's out of my control. I think also that's the scary part of like releasing a song too, and what I felt earlier in my, you know, life where I was like, oh, it's out, that I've lost control over it. Like it's in the hands of the people, and I can't go back, I can't add another harmony, or I can't change it. So it's just, it's going to do what it's going to do in a way. And then, of course, I think artists these days, speaking about TikTok and that, have a lot of control over how they can market stuff and how they can reach their audience and even, like, build an audience.
Right.
But I'm more so maybe not patient, but I have a lot of stamina, maybe. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love that you just go.
Just go.
And you recognize like the song did what it's supposed to do. Now on to the next.
Yeah, let's go.
Do me a favor and tell me about Can't Tame Her.
Oh, Can't Tame Her is a song that I did with Eminike.
From Never Forget You.
From Never Forget You, yeah. That was the first song that I ever wrote. And we worked a lot since. You know, he's one of my absolute favorite writers. an artist. I think he's a great, great person. So he came to Stockholm to work with me and a producing duo from Sweden called Mother.
Mm-hmm.
So we had like 4 days together. And we usually do a couple of ideas, like a verse and a chorus, a verse and a chorus, a verse and a chorus. And then at the end of the, 3 or 4 days, we like look at what we got, pick out the songs we like the best to finish them. But this song, I think it was the third song we did of the day, and we just like boom, all of a sudden it was written, like the whole song. It just the pen just magically just swished over the paper, and
so you're a wizard. Got it.
Oops, a song. Yeah. No, that's what it felt like. Like
Right.
it really was. It really was writing itself almost. And it started off with these synths, so that's how the whole like song started. So it definitely had the energy, and it kind of, it's something familiar about it, and it has like not it's not a smash, but it hits you in the face, like instantly. So well, it is a smash, but I won't say it with you.
It's a great song.
It's a great song. And I love, it's talking about a girl in third person who could be me. Who knows? She's confident. She goes out. She's having the best night of her life, and she's unstoppable. No one can stop her. And yeah, it gives me like excitement. I feel really happy when I listen to it. I feel really confident. I feel like I'm embracing the girl I'm talking about.
Can't change her, can't blame her, can't tame her.
Yeah. It's just she's the girl that goes out and just is unapologetically herself.
Is this girl you?
Yeah. Could be me, could be anyone. It doesn't even have to be a girl, if anyone resonates with the song and feel really good listening to it, then it's obviously for everybody, but it definitely also in the video that is what's happening. It's like I'm meeting like my wild side, and then we are merging into one and becoming one, and I'm like embracing that side of myself that I feel like she's always been there, but now it's time for her to take a little bit more space in my life.
Can you describe the feeling to me? Because I've never put out a song. I can't even sing or do anything like that.
Yeah.
But the feeling that you get before you put out a song, right?
Yeah.
To all the streaming platforms, people can hear it. What is the feeling that you get in that moment?
It's like, I would say almost an adrenaline rush, excitement, a bit anxious over, how are people going to like it? But I also feel like these days you kind of know because there's like a million little teasers that you put out. I also did do that outside of, my label. They had like, we have this TikTok sound that you can tease. And I'm like, yeah, let me just post like half the song on Twitter with like really bad quality from a dancing rehearsal just to see the vibe. And people are like, yay. I'm always nervous, but for this particular one, I felt really, really calm. And I don't know if we're here, like we talked about, I'm 25, that I'm like, this is what I'm doing now. And I like the song, so that's it. I felt really, really good about it. I felt calm, but excited. And then just really happy to have like new stuff out. But it is a little, it's an adrenaline rush, I would say, in general.
I will say, as an artist, because, I feel like artists are like protective of their stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you put out like a dance quality video on Twitter. It has to feel good when you see people are like, "Yay, this is good. This is it."
Of
right,
course.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, for sure. I would be could you imagine if I posted that and people are like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like that would freak me out. That would really freak me out. And at that point, there's really nothing you can do either, So, I mean, it's coming out, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
But it obviously is very exciting when people like your stuff. And, there's that fine balance and the bit of a struggle into like, okay, how much should I like read my mentions or how much should I read into? Because when you see the positives, you are bound to see the negatives as well. Even though I would say it's overwhelmingly really positive in my mentions or like what people are saying. But sometimes it's weird. You go in and it's almost like you look for that one mean comment to like, ooh, is this my insecurities? Just like looking for that one thing to like confirm that, I'm having a really bad day and maybe I'm not feeling my best. It's like, see, I knew it. I knew I wasn't good enough. And then you just keep reading the good ones to like make up for that one bad. And you have to be like 100. And then you're like, okay, cool. Well, and then you're back to like, okay, but where's the bad one? Where's the, like, it's such a weird cycle. And it's like,
it's a rabbit hole.
It really is. So I feel like that's where I'm like, I don't want to care about that. But obviously as an artist, of course I want my stuff to be liked.
Can I just say, so I feel like I do a lot of interviews and I will go on YouTube and just see the comments just to see like what are in the comments. And I think sometimes I will look for the bad comment just to pop off because I just need an excuse to be like,
I think it's human nature. I think there's something in that. I don't know why. Like, why do we do this? I don't know. It's almost like this little self-harm.
But exactly right. It's not. It's almost toxic and it's not
totally
natural.
It is.
Like it feels good when you get the instant gratification from somebody saying like, "Oh, this is so great. This is so good." But then that's why I can't believe in the good because if you believe the good, you're gonna have to believe the bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But at the end of the day, they're all when you do something creatively or when you don't bring people like statistics and like fact, like rah, 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 like, oh, I've done this thesis for over 5 years and here's my facts that I'm presenting to you. If you're just talking about creative stuff, you're talking about music, you're talking to a person, those opinions aren't like objective. So it's either hard because even with the Grammys and that, like who are we to say that you deserve like album of the year or like song of the year? Because like that's not objective either. It's just some people's opinions and they're not even like, you know what I mean?
Because art is all relative.
It's all relative, and that comes like the majority of the things in life is relative. So I gotta remind myself, like, if I think something's funny, if I think something's good, if I think something is like amazing, then that's what I think, and I have to be strong enough in that opinion that it's like, that's me. Because, we're just people. I don't love everything. You don't love everything. But that doesn't change the universe.
But you know what I try to do, and this is going to sound crazy. If I am saying something or if I'm thinking something, I will say to myself, is this objective? Like, like how you may have a conversation with someone and it may get a little gossipy. You know what I mean?
Because I feel
objective.
Like
that's human nature. Yeah. But before I say something, I say to myself, is this objective?
Probably not.
Right. So if that's the answer, because sometimes, guys, you can't just help but to, you know what I'm saying?
And that's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
But sometimes if it's like hurtful, is this objective? If the answer is no, then it's like swallow it and keep it moving.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good rule. And sometimes you just want to be a little subjective and still
just get a little tea. You know what I'm saying? Like just to keep the day moving. You know what I'm saying? Keep my caffeine up. Just drink a little tea. Let us know what you're working on next.
Finishing up the album.
Okay.
I am editing the next video for the next song, and I'm doing the festival tour over the summer, and then hopefully I'll, do my own headlining tour.
Are you one of the people that are constantly tweaking the album before it's like days up before it comes out?
Yeah, but they won't let me do that, which is so annoying.
Who's that? The producers or the?
Yeah.
They won't. Why is that? Because you're just too much in your head?
I think also like down to like it never stops for me. It's not done until it's done, but also, you pay people for their time, and when you like, okay, cool, are we mixing and mastering this? And I'm like, yeah, we're mixing and mastering this. And then it's like, no, I actually don't want to. And it's like, you should have said that 2 months ago.
Right,
you know what I mean? It's like it's finished. Like it's ready. It's wrapped up in a little gift paper. Like it's done. But I think it's also me just never being truly satisfied with anything. Just always wanting to make everything better. But at one point, you just got to say like, this is it. But I do want to change like everything up until the very last point.
Have you ever woken up at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're like,
yeah.
I have an idea?
Especially, no, I can say that on the radio. that's also part of why I stopped smoking
Mhm.
because I'm just in my head about stuff where I'm like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it's not that deep.
I was about to say, like, because if I was the producer on the other end, I'd be like, Zara, it is not that
It's
deep.
enough.
Take your ass back to sleep. We'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. I love this.
Thank
It's really
you.
nice.